which scary movie do y'all think y'all would survive?
Man, I was thinking about, because they just came out with Saw 10. I'm like, bro, I would have died immediately. Because I don't think I could do any of that shit. Like, if they was like, yo, you got to give yourself 3 back-to-back paper cuts or we're going to blow your fucking head off, I'd be like, man, I guess I'm going to see Jesus.
Bro.
I'm done.
I'm telling you.
Saw
2?
What?
Saw 2, I'm surviving the fuck out of that shit. But after that shit got wild. Like, the first shit for Saw 2 was like, old girl had to like jump in the needles. Because I'm diving right the fuck in. I'm like, goddamn, I got this one, guys. But like after Saw 2, that shit got like brutal, bro. It was like one, and bro's first challenge was you got to cut your fucking leg off or like 2 people are gonna die.
Okay.
I was like, motherfucker, like, come on, bro. Like, goddamn, bro.
Nigga, you starting out on
challenge 1? Yeah, challenge 1.
What's the next thing? Because surely I'm gonna need 2 legs for it.
You have to chop off your own head, or
exactly.
It's a red flag.
So cryogenically freezing,
that's not
like
even
I don't. Yeah, that's not what I'm even talking about. I think we're very, very close to like a upper middle class, lower upper class like person being able to like replace organs and like extend life. And then while I'm banking on that, then other shit's going to be happening, and then I'll just continue to pay into that. Like,
you really think the lower middle class will be able to replace an organ just pretty easy?
They gonna be repoing niggas.
I also don't.
Every time they come out with a new organ, like Apple, like every time they come out with a new organ,
your organ start
like
fucking
yours
up.
is just gonna start fucking up. Yeah.
Yo, I'm getting palpitations. Oh shit, they done dropped the new iHeart fucking 14.
15 Pro Max, you know, you got to get that shit.
That shit got 7 cylinders on it, baby. Beating your blood like crazy. I buy it. Well, anyway, let's get on into the show. Welcome everybody to Waving the Red Flag, the #1 organ 3D printing organ replacement Halloween and dating podcast in the universe. It's your boy Eddie, joined today by Alvin and Black Tanjiro. Is that what we're going with? Tanjiro. Like Tanjiro. Okay.
Tanjiro.
And welcome ghosts, ghouls, non-binary apparitions. Let's get into the show. Let's do some spooky shit. What we want to do.
Ooh.
First of all, Black Tanjiro is actually like pretty brilliant, by the way, Josh. It's like some very like Afro samurai type shit. Like I actually fuck with that vibe so much.
I appreciate that, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I had to sneak up on him quick with my finger on the trigger. Love that. I love that movie. That's from Afro Samurai. You never seen it?
Yeah.
Actually, no.
That's surprising. Yeah, that's surprising
in its entirety.
That actually does surprise me as well.
It's so good.
Me too. I tried, but
you didn't like it.
Catch me for some reason.
Damn, that's wild.
It didn't catch me.
Which maybe makes sense because I'm not really an anime dude, and that I was like, I love this shit. I've seen it like 4 or 5 times, both like 1 and 2.
So it's not anime. It's like anime. Like when people say it's anime, it's anime for niggas that don't know what the fuck anime is.
That makes sense.
Hey, that a motherfucking RPG? You got a motherfucking RPG? A RPG in a motherfucking backpack?
But I still love that shit. So like I don't care one way or another what like be classified as, because like anime niggas do get into the weeds on that shit. Like
it's not really Atlanta.
Whether or not Avatar: The Last Airbender is anime, like is like a debate, right? So
look, from the outside perspective, I'm like, this shit seemed like anime. Like just the drawing style, what the fuck is even going on, the plot points, it seems like some anime shit. But I don't know. I don't know what makes it.
It's definitely.
It's sparkling cartoons because it's not from Japan or whatever.
Yeah, like
I know that's the argument with Avatar: The Last Airbender. They're saying like this shit, it's not anime because it's not from Japan. Yeah. This is fucking Canadian. It's anime influenced
Western animation.
You know, animation.
That would be fair. I wouldn't call Avatar anime. I would call it like heavily influenced Western animation because the story structures are not the same as. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about some spooky shit. All right, let's do some of these would you rather's. Speaking of Army Hammer, cop the Patreon, those who are listening, if you want to hear us talk about cannibalism for an unnecessarily long amount of time. Would you rather drink a cup of blood or bite or eat a chunk of human flesh? I'm going blood.
Give me the flesh.
Is the blood tested?
Like a little chunk.
No, you got to eat the chunk. And yes, blood is tested. Oh, actually, you know what?
So
neither is tested, but you got to eat them both.
Is the blood tested?
Then I'm gonna do the flesh then.
But the flesh got blood in it.
Because both. No, but it's a less amount if I'm just taking a single bite versus drinking a cup. Like you're not gonna have a cup in a bite.
That's a good point.
Do y'all know how much a cup is?
A cup is a lot.
A cup is a lot, bro.
16 ounces.
A cup is a lot.
That's a lot of blood. to be drinking.
Y'all would rather drink 16 ounces.
Okay,
of
so I
blood
also
versus
want to
just a quick little.
Well, I'm assuming it's at least like a cute, like it's at least like this much of flesh, like a meatball. I'm assuming it's at least a meatball of flesh. But you're right. A cup of blood is the real question here is whether or not you can cook it, because if it's, I don't think y'all are really comprehending what eating raw flesh is like. It's unpleasant when it's.
I eat sushi, cuz.
It's not the same, bro. Like sushi versus like, you know, beef, chicken, pork.
How you know, nigga? This nigga's
hold
like,
on.
you don't
Hey,
eat.
look, no,
It's not the same. It's like
Hey,
eating
look,
raw fucking forearm, nigga. Like, you know, this raw forearm is a little different than that sushi you eat.
Y'all
nigga.
not built for this shit. I am 100. We were just looking at the old Army Hammer text, and he was like, "I am 100% a cannibal. I eat people." Like he said it so explicitly, like he was trying to frame himself. So no,
Dead ass. This is not a game.
So rolling that back, I'm just guessing based off the fact that I've like eaten like beef tartare and raw shit like that, and it's like this is quite tough, or some of it can be.
I also didn't have. I have also eaten that, and I also didn't. It's not something that I would eat all the time, but I didn't like mind that particularly much.
Okay.
Like I wasn't like, oh, this is repulsive. Oh, this is hard to eat. I was like, okay, this is different. I don't necessarily want this all the time.
But I think that you have to, like, if you enhance that to the level of a human, which is this animal has not been raised for consumption. Its muscles are tough from having been used throughout life. It's gonna be difficult to chew, man.
You can tenderize it.
Well,
I can tenderize it myself. I don't even got to cook it.
we?
I don't even got to cook
That's
it.
a different process, though. Are we allowed to tenderize
Yeah, I
it?
can.
Well,
I can.
You can tenderize it. I can cook
bu-
it. And if I can cook it, then yeah, okay, I'll eat the meatball.
Look.
Also, I did want to circle back just for the viewers. I just, I was gonna let it go, but y'all said that shit like 12 times. A cup is not 16 ounces.
It's 32. What is it?
No,
It's 8.
8. Oh,
Oh,
it's 16 a pint.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't remember
You're
that
right.
shit.
My fault.
Yeah, 16 is a pint.
Okay.
16 is a
I
pint.
remember learning that shit in
Gotcha.
third grade.
I'm thinking in terms of cooking, because a lot of times it'd be like 2 cups,
and it's 16.
and I always got like the 60. Yeah,
You do
so,
you is a cooking
Yes,
ass
he
nigga,
is.
so I can understand it.
Okay, yeah, my fault. Okay, so conversion class from Alvin is in session. Is 8 cups. It's 8 ounces to a cup. 2 cups to a pint.
Pint.
4 pints to a furlong. I don't know what's it go up to?
A quart.
A quart. Okay. And then it's a gallon.
Yeah, that's a gallon. 4 quarts is a
Okay.
gallon.
What's 2 gallons?
2 gallons.
Okay, it doesn't go any bigger than that.
big
It's not a mega gallon or anything like that.
A mega gallon. That shit
like 1,000 gallons. I don't know.
that shit will fucking be crazy.
a gallon.
Because how much is in a pool? Is that you have to measure that in individual gallons? That seems like it would take forever to get anything done.
Well, you need to create some new fucking measurements.
That's
then,
what I'm
bro.
saying,
You need to
man.
get in the lab,
A kilogallon.
do some new math like Terrence Howard
That's
or
what
some
I'm
shit,
saying.
whatever. Howard is.
Invent a new. Wait, Terrence Howard. For some reason, I thought you said Howard Stark, but then
No, I meant Terrence
when
Howard.
did he
Were you not tracking to you did not track into this story where he was trying to invent a new form
Oh
of
shit! I
math?
remember that he was doing LSD and shit, and he was like,
Oh, let me get this out. Say you pay a dime times a dime. You put that in your calculator, it says 1 cent. 0.10 times 0.10 is 1 cent. But we know a dime times a dime is a whole dollar. But the banks gives us money based on that evaluation. Is that fair? And I might get shot about talking about this right now.
he was just talking nonsense. on the
Yeah,
red
he was
carpet.
like, yeah, man, I went to these scientists with MIT and I'm trying to tell them that 1 + 1 doesn't have to equal 2, bro. I don't understand what y'all are talking about.
Don't have to equal 2, man.
True story. Look the shit up. It
Oh, this
happened.
nigga went limitless. He turned into Lucy. He was-
1 + 1 = 2. That's all we've learned. But 1 + 1 has never equaled 2. There are, in fact, no numbers and no letters.
What if that nigga's right though?
You never know, man, because why is 1 + 1 2? It's like if you have 1 and then you have 1 again, how is that not just the same 1 and then it's just still 1? You know what I'm saying? Like how do you have
this?
two,
See,
how
this
do
is
you
what
have
I'm talking
2
about right
ones?
here.
You see what I'm saying? What if everything
You don't have 2
exactly?
ones. You just have 2.
No, you have 1 then. How do you have 1 then 1 again? How do you have the first 1 again another time?
See, this is. I guess we got to have fucking
That's what
Terrence
I'm
Howard
saying.
on the show because you agree with this motherfucker.
Or maybe
like
Neil
we feel.
deGrasse Tyson to help us make sense of all this.
Or Ja Rule at that point. You know what I'm
That's it,
saying?
yeah.
Like, fuck
He
it.
might know what's going on. Kevin Gates probably got it figured out too.
probably
If I'm being honest, he seemed like he know a lot of secrets.
He got powers.
He got a lot of powers.
He also got powers.
He got a lot of powers. And he got a brother with an 18-inch penis. So There's something going on with that whole family. They all got a lot of magic going on. I don't know. And he's spitting in girls' mouths on stage. That's a madness. I don't know.
I mean, she wanted it.
Well,
yeah, man, she's definitely drinking the cup of blood.
Definitely,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's 100% drinking the cup of blood.
But yo, like for real, I've been wanting to say this. You could just swallow the meat. You ain't got to chew on it. And yes, I'm aware of the possibility of it. Yep, swallow that whole thing. Gargle.
You say the plausibility of it? Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a plausible moment. I don't know. I think you would choke on the meat if you did that, because a meatball is it's got a lot of girth to it. If you tried to swallow a full meatball, you're not making it. I mean, look, I don't know how your throat is set up. I'm not making it. I don't have that kind of meat space.
The thing about me, I never choke.
This nigga said how your throat is set up.
I don't have that type of. I don't have this.
That is the wildest possible phrasing you could have used in that circumstance. How your throat is set up.
You might got an esophagus on you. Go. I don't know. I can't get all that meat down my throat.
This nigga said you got an esophagus on you. Can you imagine this shit happening in like a sexual context? He's like, look, man, you got a fucking esophagus on you, man.
Baby girl.
Like,
God damn.
I saw the way you was sucking down them cigarettes.
I can see straight through you, baby.
Shit.
10 out of 10 esophagus. Like, goddamn.
Look down your mouth, I can see the floor. God damn, you got an esophagus on you. Shit. You guys think aliens is real? Ghosts is real? You know? You want to meet one?
Yes, both.
I'm yes to both. 1,000,000%.
I'm surprised. I did that.
Okay, I know. I think we've talked about aliens before. What's going on with ghosts? I don't think it's no ghosts. I don't think it's because I don't think it's nothing. I don't think there's no other shit from this life. So that's what ghosts is real.
I think ghosts are real.
Okay.
Yep. 1,000%.
Have y'all met ghosts?
I have not.
Or you know somebody who has?
Yes.
Okay. Who, how, and why?
So I have family members that would consider themselves sensitive. And like we've had circumstances.
Okay.
We've had circumstances where like family members have like all seen the exact same thing and described the exact same event. And I'm like, there's no way that like they would all have described the exact same thing at the exact same time during the exact same event without some external cause. So I've always and it's not just one instance, it's been multiples. So I've always used that to kind of give me pause on that. And like I'm saying that as a person who doesn't necessarily think that there's like a heaven and a hell, but I think there's some form after this, whether or not it's a corporeal form is, I think, up for a debate. But I do think that like from a physics perspective, like we would exist within the universe. Like that's, thermodynamics, and like we are like, the energy within our body would just become enthalpy in like the universe. Like, you know what I mean? Like in some form or fashion, I think we exist past this. Whether or not it's like a spirit form, I think that's up for extreme debate. But again, based on the experiences of family members that consider themselves as such in those circumstances where like I've probed like a lot, like it seems implausible that they all would have been able to come to the exact same conclusions without something happening.
I think that something could be other stuff because
it could be other stuff. You're right. It could be other stuff. So I'm not discounting that too. It could be other stuff.
Shared intuition is a thing, but it's because everybody has the same subconscious. Like if everybody gets the same like what do you call it? Like bad vibe from a person, it's like y'all on a group of mind readers. You all noticed, his inflection or the way that he walked or the way that he treated someone in a certain situation, and you picked up on a vibe subconsciously. So I feel like that kind of shit can happen a lot.
And I agree with you, but it's like, and I think specific. That in general, that happens a lot. But it's like if you describe the same figure wearing the same thing, the same person, walking in the same direction, doing the exact same thing, it's like
it gets less and less like
Paul. It gives me pause.
Yeah. Pause, indeed. See, I think my issue is the idea of an afterlife to me never really quite, not never, but just increasingly stopped making sense because I'm like, my understanding of what a person is or what I am is like a pattern. And so the idea that a pattern can continue without a substrate or that some other substrate exists, like something for our mind to exist on, can exist somewhere else, just hasn't made sense to me without some explanation of what that next thing, like, okay, so I'm my thoughts are the arrangement of the cells in my brain. my brain gets destroyed, rots, but somehow the pattern that created will continue to exist elsewhere in another dimension in a way that is somewhat recognizable as me,
But
just doesn't
you're
compute.
you're not yet. You speaking from ego.
Okay, maybe,
Like, that's
maybe,
your
maybe.
ego
Yeah.
talking. Like you're not your thoughts actually,
Okay, see now that
because
okay, yeah.
because like you can separate like yourself as the observer, the true like I am, like that God essence that's in you, like the energy that moves your body. You can sit back and observe your thoughts with practice, and if you kind of like know how to do it, with practice and becoming aware and just practicing awareness, you're not your thoughts. Your thoughts are something separate from you, and that's why sometimes a lot of times people drive themselves to unalive themselves because they can't stop identifying with these negative, dark, twisted thoughts. Like that's not who you truly are.
Okay, I disagree, but let me try and back up and maybe come at it from a different angle to see if we're like talking about the same thing. If you were to remove, for instance, all of your memories, right? Like if I erased all the memories that Eddie has, all the memories that Alvin has, all the memories that like Josh has, is that still Josh? If you no longer remember me or the relationship that we have, you no longer remember your friends, your family, your name, anywhere that America, any history that you ever had, uh, your friends from college,
That's how.
would that still be you?
Yeah, that's all you speaking all on.
This is a
ego.
question, yeah. So
Yeah, that was still you would still technically be like the you that was born, created, the God essence that it inhabits his body.
Okay.
That would still be you. But of course, we all know that the people we are today is built up through our life experiences, like the places we've raised up, the conditioning we've gone through. Like that's where we're at today. But it's still technically like on a higher level. It's technically that doesn't make you who you are.
okay, well then, so with that,
Necessarily.
so with that in mind, let's say that like a spirit or a ghost is this concept of the like that not blank slate, but that like original like base you that doesn't have your memories, it doesn't have your experiences, it doesn't have any of your relationships, it doesn't have any of your skills or thoughts about anything. It's just kind of what you were as a baby. If that thing
No.
continues to exist on somewhere else, then I kind of go like, then what are we even talking about as a ghost? Like if there's a ghost of Josh that has none of the aspects of the person Josh that exists now, what I'm not saying that that's not something,
Well-
but what is that? Like how to call that a ghost
Well-
of you doesn't make sense to me.
From what I understand, if we're talking about somebody like actually passing, because I'm with Alvin, I believe in ghosts, and I've had
Yeah.
like experiences like kind of being somewhat sensitive to stuff like that, and also my folks are from like St. Simon's Island, where like
It's magic. It's
it's a little
magic.
spooky
Yeah.
over there. You know what I'm saying? Plantations and
Yes.
shit. Like you can visit a plantation. But for one, like if you a lot of times, like, and I mean, this is nothing uncommon, but you can like pass on, like when you pass away, if you feel like you seriously have like unfinished business,
Oh, yeah.
grudges, or like that negative ass energy, because that's all it is just like an energy. And like Alvin was saying, like when you pass away, like the energy just doesn't evaporate into nothingness, like it transfers somewhere. So like I was saying, I don't know necessarily about the corporeal form, but yeah, like if you can still pass away and still hold on to like a grudge, and if the emotion is that intense.
Okay, so my question is how, right? Because now we're talking about the ego persisting based on my understanding of what you've explained the ego to be. If you have a grudge from life that you've identified some sort of malicious relationship with another person, and that maintains, based on your description, that seems like it would fall under ego, right? So then my question is, how does a piece of information such as that, let's call it ego, how does that sustain after brain death?
Hell if I know.
Exactly, that's all I'm
I don't
saying.
have the
That's all,
mechanics
yeah,
on it. I mean,
that's all I'm saying. Because it's not making sense to me.
Like how?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
like
if you
yeah,
burn
because I mean,
a
it's
book,
just
the
like
book is gone. Like we're
yeah, but it's just like just because you can't see something doesn't mean that it's not real,
course,
like
of
or
course.
it doesn't exist. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Just
look,
because you can't fully
the
explain
absence
something
of evidence is
doesn't
not
mean
the evidence of absence. I understand that, but what all I'm saying
Yeah.
is
There's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
What?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I don't.
how. Like it could be. Look, anything could be going on. My question is always kind of like, cool. If I'm going to believe something, I have to have like something to grab onto to go like, oh, here's how it could happen, or here's the evidence for it, or that kind of thing. So with ghosts and shit, I'm like, I don't. There could be a way, but like by what mechanism would the information in your brain transfer to some other shit that we don't know about and can't see? Like, who's doing that?
And it's also like really like there's the concept of information and like perception is also kind of like a weird concept in and of itself. Like I'm just thinking about like astrophysics and all that kind of stuff. Like the concept of information existing doesn't even necessarily mean that like you can understand it.
Okay.
So I think that's one of the things that like Interstellar kind of got right in terms of like an event horizon going into like a black hole. So like I do think there's so much about how like perception can happen in like the transmission of information that's like readable in some form. There's a lot we don't even know in that space. Right. So like there's a lot of stuff that like when you really get into like the astrophysics of stuff that like there's a lot that mathematically like people assume is possible that like you wouldn't necessarily think is possible. So like mathematically like time travel is possible, for example, right? Like just not backwards.
I mean, because
like time travel mathematically forward time travel is very
doesn't
possible.
That already happen?
But it's like
don't twins in space get younger or some shit or older or whatever? Is that a real thing?
Yeah,
that's not time travel. That's technically relativity. That's
that
like
not time
difference
travel?
in inertial. No. Differences in relativity of time based on inertial frames, based on speed, is not necessarily time travel. No.
That sounds like time travel to me. If I go to a time,
fair. I mean, fair enough. That kind of supports what I'm saying, right? That kind of supports what I'm saying, right? Where like we have like these differences of like perception of information, broadly define what information is that like we can't always like explain or conceptualize, and like if like we need to dumb it down a little bit to like conceptualize it to our individual selves. That's kind of like what we're talking about with this ghost thing. It's like some things are like highbrow. We can't necessarily understand them in our current state. It doesn't mean that they don't exist, because like information coming out of a black hole is information.
Yeah.
You ain't reading it. I ain't reading it. The computers ain't reading it. We just know that it's something there.
But so if I'm understanding a little bit of what you're saying, I kind of agree, and I'll say why in a bit. But I think making an argument from like complexity is like not really an argument about anything. Like when we say things are so complicated we can't comprehend them, therefore they must be this mystical thing that somebody made up. That's a bad argument that can be used to rationalize literally anything. You can prove every god that way. You can prove every myth and everything ever by just saying, oh, well, human beings aren't capable of comprehending the complexity, therefore it must be this thing. So what I'm saying is that in an infinite like kind of collection of different super complex ideas, the idea that ghosts are the right one is based on nothing. I agree we can't comprehend it, and that's what my initiating stance is that
and I want to say that I don't think you're wrong for saying that you don't believe in ghosts, right? Like
I'm not saying
I
ghosts do not
say
exist. I'm saying I don't believe in them.
Yeah, I'll take it a step further. I will say that if you want to say that ghosts don't exist, I want to say that I don't think you're wrong. I think that that's an equally valid term than me and Josh saying that we believe in them. All I'm saying is that there's a bunch of shit that, like, from a scientific perspective, that we can't fully explain.
Yeah. So and
like so I'm willing to like. Yeah, I'm willing to be on a ledge and say, like, based on that, and again, based on like other stuff that I've heard, like,
that's fair.
Yeah, like I'm willing to be like, oh, that could be very much in the pantheon of things that like.
But the reason I agree is that if a person is to say like, okay, this shit is like super complex and maybe it's on some time travel quantum shit, I do kind of like start to get interested in that, where I'm like, okay, maybe ghosts are other motherfuckers from a different dimension, or it's us from the past, or it's like
which I think, which is actually
it could make sense.
Like that's kind of what I was getting at when I was kind of like going through this. So like, that's a very real possibility. And again, like this is mathematically a possibility. Like that's not something that like is
pockets of universes
too far
blending
too
over
far
top of each other
out of
and
the
like, oh shit, now we've seen a motherfucker from 1780 because our universe and a parallel universe have touched one another at this point. I can see it. So it's
which is a very
or whatever.
That's a very crude but like possible understanding of relativity, especially when you get into Einsteinian relativity versus Galilean relativity, which is like much simpler, like conceptually. It's kind of like why they still teach it, even though it's not necessarily right. It's like why they teach Newtonian gravity, even though it's not necessarily right, before they get to Einsteinian gravity, because it's just easier to teach you the concept. But what you said is a very crude understanding of like relativity, and like you could overlap that shit in inertial frames, and now I'm seeing some weird shit, and maybe I'm perceiving that as ghost.
All right, well, we want to do another one.
I actually had a story.
Okay, a ghost story.
Well, not a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just like an example, right? Like my mom's parents, my grandparents on my mom's side, they was from the island, right?
Yeah.
And like St. Simon's was like a port city where they used to import slaves, and then a lot of slaves would like jump off and drown in the marsh, and like for generations, like a lot of them have said that they heard the slaves in the night crying and moaning, or like sometimes even singing like hymns. And he lived by the marsh, or the water was like a block away from like where their house was. So how do you explain that?
Yeah.
Is that a real question or like?
No, I mean more rhetorical.
Okay,
I know none of us have like an actual answer. We can't pull out a whiteboard and be like, well.
I had a couple of theories, but yeah, I don't want to turn.
One day you got to pull out an actual whiteboard, Josh. I just want to keep.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had any spooky shit, but I honestly I would like to. Like, I'd love to go to like a haunted. I don't know if so I know I was talking big shit, like, oh, I don't believe in ghosts. Oh, fuck that shit. It's no Casper not finna fuck with me, blah, blah, blah. But if there's a real haunted house, I don't know if I would go without a gun, which I know doesn't make sense, but like, cause it's a ghost, but that's
no, bro. Let me tell you this shit right here, bro. So like, it was some folks that I'm cool with down here, and they was trying to go to like this haunted like situation, and it's not a house. It's like it's a former quote unquote insane asylum, right? And I'm looking at it, right, and we're trying to plan out like dates, and it says you can't bring a gun, and I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm comfortable.
Nope. Why would you even write that? Why would you even write that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they're like, nigga, why do you need a gun if it's ghost? Like, what you gonna do with?
That's my question.
That's what I'm
gonna fuck around and shoot somebody. That's what.
You know what? Because that's probably what happens. You in an insane asylum, you shoot your homeboy because like, oh fuck, I thought you was a ghost. Like, look, no guns.
No guns in here. Either you die or you live. I mean, like,
I'm like, I don't know if I'm comfortable going there without my 9, man.
Nah, man, because I feel like situation. You never know. Like when it's insane asylums, you never know. Like old buildings like that, they always have secret passageways and basements and shit that people didn't know about that were left off the city plans.
And it's a regular person. It's always a regular person in the movies. Right? It's never the ghost that's really fucking up. It's always a living, breathing person that's fucking some shit up.
It's a fucking underground society of asylum motherfuckers who've been reproducing incestuously for the past 50 years.
And I need to. You really just described the plot of the movie. What's that shit that just popped off?
Silent
Barbarian. You literally just described the plot of Barbarian.
Damn, I gotta start
Spoiler alert,
movies.
everybody.
Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Speaking of, like, which scary movie do y'all think y'all would survive?
Man, I was thinking about, because they just came out with Saw 10. I was thinking about that shit. I'm like, bro, I would have died immediately. Because I don't think I could do any of that shit. Like,
bro, I told you.
It was like, yo, you got to give yourself 3 back-to-back paper cuts or we're going to blow your fucking head off. I'd be like, man, I guess I'm going to see Jesus.
Bro.
I'm done.
I'm telling you. Saw 2?
What?
Saw 2?
It's been a good run.
Saw 2, I'm surviving the fuck out of that shit. But after that shit got wild. Because, like, the first shit for Saw 2 was like, old girl had to like jump in the needles. To like get the shit.
Do that?
I'm 100%. Yeah, I'm 100% knocking that out the park. Like, Saw 2 was doable.
You know what?
Saw 2, these niggas could have survived.
There was that one where it was razor wire everywhere, and he had to get through.
Find the path through the razor wire to the door, but hurry. At 3 o'clock, that door will lock. And then
I could probably do that.
I could have made that shit happen. But like after Saw 2, that shit got like brutal,
it was
bro.
having to cut
like it was one
hand in half and shit to like draw blood. Like hell no.
It was one, bro.
Like,
it was one, and they were like,
and then that'd have been the end of it.
It was like one, and bro's first challenge was you got to cut your fucking leg off, or like 2 people are gonna die.
Okay.
I was like, motherfucker, like, come on, bro. Like, come on, damn, bro.
Nigga, you starting out on
challenge 1? Yeah, challenge 1.
What's the next thing? Because surely I'm gonna need 2 legs for it.
You have to chop off your own head, or
exactly. You gotta chop half your head off.
Am I just? I thought you wanted to at least give me a chance to survive, my nigga. Like,
just killing me.
No, but Saw 1.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Saw 2. I'm 100% surviving that shit because I'm diving right the fuck in. I'm like, goddamn, I got this one, guys.
swimming in it. Shit!
You guys can circle through for the next one.
Okay,
I'm going
okay.
ahead and get my
Squid
turn
Game's
out the
over
way
here.
right away.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Like I could survive a lot of the movies where white people seem to struggle, where it's just like, let's stay here for the night. I'm like, yo, like any haunted house movie, I could survive it so easy. So easy. I'd be going. It wouldn't even be close. Night one, I'm going to a hotel. Like, and I get it. I understand you have your investment. I don't have to live in the house to sell that bitch. I can go somewhere else and sort that out, sell it to somebody else. I get it.
Here's my bar. Bar. If it's non-supernatural, I'm surviving. Like some of that shit just don't make sense. Like for example, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, boom, I'm out there shit. You know, I'm surviving the fuck out of that because I'm just shooting all of them.
And yeah, and they're not bulletproof.
Like the fact that they're not fucking bulletproof. They're regular fucking people. I'm shooting all of them. And I'm living till the next day, and I'm fucking finding some gas and a jump, and like I'm riding the fuck out. Non-supernatural shit, I'm out. But the supernatural shit always scares me.
Yeah, because you can't really do anything with that.
Yeah, or like, so one of my favorite, more recent, horror kind of psychological thriller kind of movies is what is it? As Above, So Below. I can 100% see that's the kind of stupidity that I would be involved in. And I don't know if I would have survived that shit. So they're trying to find secret relics in the catacombs in France. And they end up going into the catacombs in France in like this weird like back entryway. And I 1,000,000% could see myself like going down there with like a group of motherfuckers on like some archaeological like curiosity kind of shit.
I'm surprised at that,
and
but we should do something like that. Like, cause I've been like when you said that haunted house shit, we should make some fucking content like that because I would be down for that particular brand of dumb shit. Like I want to see everything that's going on in the world. I want to go down underground into some shit, you know, inside. Some ice
I'm
caves.
100% down, and you know we can fucking die and you know get some good content out of it. Josh survived.
Clout. If you,
be a millionaire off that shit.
And Josh would sell that shit too. The first episode when it's just him and he's like, "Look, guys, Alvin and Eddie, they're away spelunking in the tundra caves, and they never coming back." Like, million subscribers that day. Million subscribers that day.
It's gone, bro. Like I'm not waiting for y'all either. Like
he got fucking guest hosts. He got fucking guest hosts on this motherfucker.
I feel like he could milk the tears. Like he could make that shit sad. He could mourn us for like a month, just stacking up subscribers. I don't know. I'm like, obviously I don't want to die.
Now that you mention it,
but I'm game to do some adventuring.
Oh, but then season 2, like y'all actually survived, and then like the shit is really going crazy. Like y'all actually came back.
Oh shit, the new we pop on the screen like, guys, I got a big fucking beard. Hopefully, guys, we survived. You know?
hopefully the trauma activated my hair growth follicle.
Yeah. It can happen. I don't know. Testosterone. It's kind of like adrenaline. You know, when you really need it, you grow a beard. I think is what happens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think, and then circling back to like the topic, I think probably the only like supernatural like horror movies I'm pretty sure I could survive. Freddy Krueger, I'm pretty sure I could survive that shit because they kind of gave you the blueprint. No, but my whole thing is like they gave you the blueprint for surviving the fucking movie in the movie. How? The kids was fucking fighting back in, I think it was part 3, where they were just like, oh, we just gonna like fight this motherfucker in the dreams, like using our dream powers. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm just gonna fucking be Goku or some shit, and like I'm like out here,
lucid
like
dreaming.
Their imaginations wasn't dope enough to like fucking fight this motherfucker, or
Green Lantern,
or as a second one, It Follows, which I also think is probably one of the best horror movies. I'm just gonna go and fuck somebody in Europe. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna fuck somebody in fucking.
Does the ghost walk?
The Maldives. It walks. Yeah, they describe that in the movie, right? They say this thing is consistent. It doesn't sleep. It doesn't get tired, but it is walking. They said that in the movie.
See, yeah, because you can walk anywhere. If you don't need to breathe and shit,
yeah,
it's gonna take a while.
Exactly, and it doesn't need to breathe. It like they couldn't drown it, like all that kind of stuff. But they were like, it's consistent. It has a steady pace. It doesn't get tired. It doesn't sleep, but it is walking.
But see, the other thing is,
but can it swim?
But no, it can swim. But it can walk on the. It can walk. On
the bottom. Yeah. You know. So I'm just gonna fuck somebody in the Maldives, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna see some weird shit, and I'm gonna do that shit again.
Get on the plane, just always running.
I mean, really, all you got to do is fuck somebody
over.
else, and then you've won. Like, you know, it's a pyramid scheme. So, like, the problem is no longer I just fuck somebody next door.
That's what I mean. And again, spoiler alert, that shit was fucking them up because, you know, old boy fucked the prostitute, and then like the ending. You know what I mean?
What happened?
Like,
I can't even remember.
So you gotta. So it's an ambiguous ending where it's like you see like a faceless person like coming up after him after he fucks the prostitute.
So it still gets you,
and you don't know if it gets them.
Okay.
It's an ambiguous ending, which I actually really love. They did it really well. But like I would say you do that shit, but you do it in like fucking like Amsterdam or something. You know what I mean? Like do that same shit, but like away.
Now see,
so I'm surviving that shit. I'm surviving that kind of time.
I don't think I could actually survive even the regular like abduction type shit. Like, because I always think about like if somebody really like chained me up in a basement, that's it. Like you're really done. And like Alvin, you said like, oh, I would shoot him, blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, if you have prep time, if you know what's going on, if you've got your gun on you, blah blah blah. But if somebody really got the slip on you and got you in a situation where they know your inventory,
if somebody got the slip on. Yeah. If somebody got to slip on you and it's not even a horror film, if it's like fucking regular life,
yes.
But like, I'm thinking specifically about those scenarios in like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? Like them motherfuckers should have had. They
should have been ready for.
They should have had a gun. Yeah,
because they really just got beat up by some hillbillies, like with a chains, like
100%.
What's even going on here?
100%.
Okay. Abducted by aliens.
They was also deep. They was also deep too, bro. It was like 8 of them motherfuckers. They could have like squatted up. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah, honestly, I feel you. Like they didn't have any coordination, and I feel like that's the main thing is that people are always tripping, and you know, they got no coordination. There's no leader. They're all they're splitting up and shit. Motherfuckers slow as shit. Like how are you getting beat by this guy? Like one shotgun, whole situation solved. So I don't know. No. So speaking of which, would y'all rather be kidnapped by a psychopath, like kidnapped by a person who kidnaps people, or abducted by aliens?
Abducted by aliens, easy.
Really?
Not even a question.
Why?
You got to explain why that's
you got to.
You
can't just say that like it's obvious. He done thought the whole thing through.
It would be, bro. Okay, so for one, psychopathic killer, you know what they do. Like you know what time. You know what type of time.
You know what's going on.
Aliens,
you know what they want.
We don't know that with aliens. Them niggas might be friendly. They might just want to like run some tests.
That's true.
Take you to their planet, introduce you to a new galaxy.
They might just run in some blood work.
They're just making sure you doing all right.
Them niggas, it might be lit in outer space, bro. Like them aliens might be lit in a motherfucker.
See,
like you might become like a Star Wars, I don't like Boba Fett nigga. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you just like woke up in an anime. Yeah, like oh my god, like I was abducted by aliens and now I'm Boba Fett.
Right, Star-Lord type shit.
You know,
that's true because that's what happened to Star-Lord. He got abducted by aliens and this nigga went on to like have
and now he's Boba Fett. Yeah,
he had an illustrious career as a whatever that occupation was.
As a space buffoon.
As a space buffoon.
Know? Like,
ooh, child, things will get brighter. Then bring it down hard. Someday.
What the fuck is his job? Like what? How are they making money?
Space buffoon. They were doing like odd jobs and shit. They were like bounty hunters.
I don't even. Okay, bounty hunters makes it because whenever like mercenaries in these shows always be having odd jobs, and I'm like, how are y'all paying rent? Like, how is this a job that allows you to make enough?
They be sleeping on the ship, nigga. Damn, all you need is food and fuel.
Yeah, where you buy a ship? Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, I think because a ship seems mad expensive. They own a house. What's the mortgage on a spaceship? It's got to be insane. How did they afford that shit off?
Yondo gave them the ship though, bro.
Okay. See, I think the problem with aliens to me is that you're right. We know what type of time a psychopath is probably on. Like if somebody abducts you, it's only a couple of things they want with you. Because the other shit you don't have to abduct people for. So they're probably going to rape you, kill you, cut you up, eat you, that kind of shit. Because otherwise, why bother? You know what I'm saying? They could have just invited you for a cup of coffee. If they, you know. So we know what they want. Aliens, on the other hand, I agree. We don't know what they want. But that's what scares me. Because getting raped, getting murdered, those things are horrific things. I can't even imagine how terrible they are. The shit that an alien could do to you, I don't even want to, like, it could go so much farther than those things, right? Imagine having your life extended to 1,000 years and being raped in new orifices that they cloned all over your body, or they slice your brain into 1,000,000 different pieces and electric shock, like each individual part, like the kind of suffering they could, because this is what it really is like. Getting abducted by a psychopath is basic stuff. It's the tier 1 rape, murder, getting eaten. Stuff. Tier 1. Yeah.
Very vanilla stuff.
Vanilla is not even really. Aliens? It's not even really kinky.
Vanilla murder. Okay. Vanilla murder.
Vanilla murder.
Yeah.
It's vanilla type shit. Aliens it's like Nazi, like fucking like Sector 421 Japanese type shit where they're doing like experiments on you, like cutting your body up and while you're alive, vivisections and shit like that. There's that one movie. I'll put the clip in. That type of shit? No. So it just seems like a big risk. It just seems like a big risk.
I got a counter argument.
Okay.
I mean, hey, look. Okay, another clip you can throw in if you can find it. Mob Psycho. I think it was the end of somewhere around season 2.
Okay.
Nigga got abducted by aliens. Nigga was gone for like 6 months or some shit, but when he came back, like only a week had passed or something like that. And them niggas was partying, bro. That nigga lived a whole life.
Okay, so my question is, why did they abduct you instead of inviting you? Because who abducts people to a party?
I mean, come on.
Nobody ever got abducted to a party.
Baby.
Cool motherfucker. You know what? That's true. That's like frats do that shit.
You don't know that.
Frats do that shit.
Frats do that.
They put a bag on your head and it's like, hey, we get lit. It's like, oh, okay, this is pretty good. I thought I was about to die.
Yeah, they scared the shit out of you at first, and then you get to the thing,
and they're like,
oh shit, cocaine,
space
liquor,
cocaine.
weed, like like
that's true. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, space cocaine.
Damn, that's that Stardust.
All of it just has space in front of it.
Yeah, everything is space.
Yeah, right.
We got
space
that space weed.
And let me tell you, it is truly out of this world.
Yeah, ever had space LSD? The S is also for space. Okay, let's see what we got.
No, Alvin didn't.
Oh yeah, true. This is probably gonna be the most interesting one because I feel like he's done at least one of these two things.
Yeah, 100% being abducted by aliens.
Or done an abduction.
Have not done an abduction.
Okay.
I feel like that was one of the things we said that you were doing, like when you weren't here.
Abducting people?
Probably.
Getting abducted.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just visiting your home world kind of stuff, just going back to see family.
Touche.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Touche. Very well.
All right. No, which one?
Yeah, man, that was very good. That was very awkward palsy, very funny Marco. Like, let's keep that in there.
Let's go. Funny Marco type beat.
He will.
Yeah. Or whatever that white woman's name is that I'm trying to.
I don't acknowledge. I don't acknowledge the legitimacy of that creator.
Me neither. We'll keep it a funny Marco reference.
Y'all don't like Robert?
I don't even.
Funny Marco.
I don't even know. I don't know who that is. Moving on. Funny Marco though. Eric Andre.
Speaking of, did y'all see that? Did y'all see that thing with the interview with him and G Herbo and Southside producer?
I did.
Fuck, man. Hold my cup, man. I'll give you a job. Hold it.
God damn, that's a quadruple shot.
Yeah. Hold on, let me take some.
Hurry up, nigga.
Hold.
There you go. He here.
Hey, hold that to the end of the interview.
I got you, my brother.
It's good.
Always, I remember you need me.
Huh? Yeah.
You need me.
Yeah. I technically do.
Yeah.
But I don't. Hold this for me, too.
I got you, Troy.
Fucking goofy.
You need both of us.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, that was disrespectful.
I'm
sorry.
I get my suit, nigga.
That shit nappy already, bro.
Listen. I need y'all to know, like, look, come on.
No, I know. Come on.
It's my brother. I really respect him. This is my brother. It's no disrespect.
All I saw was clips. I saw clips.
To me, it didn't seem like that big of a deal to me. Nah. Because let me make my case. I feel like it wasn't a big deal because I feel like Funny Marco and that brand of comedian have been doing shit like that to the public anyway. I feel like you kind of don't have room to, like, if they had slapped him or hit him, cool. But I feel like
they did.
Oh, they did hit him. They threw a cup at his face. Did they also?
All I saw was throw the cup.
I just saw a throw cup. Did they hit him as well?
And then Herbo kind of apologized for throwing the cup.
Like, I feel like
because he realized, like, oh shit, like, okay, that was
okay, but that's not hitting. That's not hitting.
Yes, it is.
No,
they hit him with a cup. Like, what do you mean?
It was a solo. It was a plastic cup. It's the kind of shit that Funny Marco would have done.
Under any other circumstances, you would have been screaming abuse from the top of your lungs. What do
Yeah,
you,
you're
like,
right,
what are
and
we
it's a
doing?
different circumstance. It's a prank circumstance where that kind of shit is.
No,
like,
it's not
motivated.
like that. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't part of the show. Like what? Like what? That wasn't part of it, bro.
I mean,
And then like Eve, but I mean, just like I don't know. That wasn't.
no, look,
that was not
look,
part
Funny
of the
Marco
show.
has every
But then
right
at
to
the same
break
time,
character and be like, "Yo, chill the fuck out. We don't do that." Like he has every right to do that, and that's totally fine. But I think just assuming off jump that it's this like hyper disrespect. Like if Funny Marco comes out and says, "Yo, I was not fucking with that. I hate that. Blah blah blah. Don't do that shit. Don't come on my show doing that shit." Okay, fine. I'm just
He did.
Oh, okay, well then cool. Then that's that. If he said that, then cool. I agree with you.
He released the statement. It was like, "Yo, I wasn't really fucking with the energy on the
Okay.
show. Like I didn't want to."
Okay.
He was like, "I thought about not releasing it."
Okay.
But you know,
Cool.
I'm just gonna use this
Got
as a
it.
teachable learning moment. Like he did, but yeah, like but even from that brand of humor, he doesn't like call people like dumbasses, like you dumbass, you dickhead, and like shit like that. Like it's just that was just mean. Like it was just a very mean, cringy ass. Very
I'm trying to remember.
Funny Marco has definitely pushed that on.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Because I feel like we gaslight. Like like when we watch prank. This is the problem that I have with like the prank shit. It feels like a double standard where it's like if it's on Funny Marco's channel and Funny Marco is the protagonist, we will laugh at anything that he does to any member of the public because we're a Funny Marco fan watching it on Funny Marco's channel. But if you're the bodyguard or the fucking security guard who's trying to do their job and this motherfucker is fucking with you, telling you you're doing your job wrong and you're an idiot and you're trying to figure out who the fuck this guy even is, like on your job, you're like, no, this is some weird shit. So it just doesn't make sense to me to then turn it back around. And then when you're getting kind of disrespected, all of a sudden it's like the worst thing in the world. It's like, it just seems like the game is the game to me.
And he hides behind pretense a lot of the time, right? So like Funny Marco always in that space has some level of plausible deniability because he never explicitly says like, "Oh, you're a dumbass." He's like, you say some dumb shit and he looks at you weird. You say some dumb shit and like, he posts a clip. You know what I mean? Like it's plausible deniability, and I think that largely he executes that well, but. You live by the sword, you die by the sword.
That's what I'm thinking.
With my only barrier being again and I think we've already gotten there, but like physical kind of stuff, I think that's a hard line against that. And I'm glad that, and I hadn't seen that, just I'm glad he did that because I think that he does need to have like those very strict boundaries in regards to like physical stuff in particular. But like again, from a what you say, like you kind of got to get it how you live.
That's where I'm coming from with this big time because I'm not just thinking about his interviews. I'm thinking about his street prank content, the shit that he was doing in Atlanta. Like,
what's funny? I'm saying you riding around. It's not safe. Where's your helmet? Where's your helmet at? Like I said, like brother, you need to chill out with all that, bro.
A lot of that shit was super disrespectful and disruptive to the people's lives that he was using to create content from. It was funny. We enjoyed it. But from the perspective of the other people, that shit wasn't no fun shit. It was disrespectful and mean-spirited, like from their perspective. So
the shit that he's done from the interview perspective, again, like he'll 100% call you a dumbass and just like look at you funny.
Your music,
and we all know what that
lame,
means.
You're not really, like we don't know who you are. Like that's your content. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Like somebody threw a cup at you. Okay, cool. You get to nip that in the bud. You can say we don't do that here. Cool, that's fine. You don't get to act like they like went way fucking overboard from what content you make. Like I don't know. It just seems much.
I will say from the clips I saw that like G Herbo did seem like he was on some lame shit. He seemed like he was trying real hard to like.
Yeah, man, Southside. Like I mean, it was
And Southside surprised me a little bit because Southside, I don't think he would have did that if Herbo hadn't like came out as hard as he did.
I heard the energy changed when Herbo came in. That was my understanding. That it was an interview because it was just one of them at first, and they both came in, and then the energy took that kind of like we're gonna win this interview kind of a turn.
Yeah, so I do think that was some lame shit, and I do think that for that type of content, there's a way to win, quote unquote, win the interview without doing what they did. Like,
you don't want to go out like Birdman.
For she who will not be named. And the ScarJo interview, I think ScarJo 100% won that interview.
I didn't even watch that.
And didn't have to throw no fucking cups. But
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
I get it. There's rules to it. There's a way that
I think Offset won the interview. I think Offset won the interview.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with Eric Andre, like it's a little bit less combative, like with Eric Andre's style, but he's of the same like school of interviewing style. And I get it. There's an etiquette to it. It's not no jumper. It's a different kind of deadpan dry sort of thing, but it's like that. Okay, so see, I'm. It's interesting to me, Josh, that I think that we're on two opposite sides of the same like coin or whatever. Because for this one, I'm kind of going live by the sword, die by the sword. But then for that like YouTube dude who got like shot.
No. Get on my Facebook call, cop stop. Stop.
I remember you're kind of like, yeah, that's good for the culture, and I'm like, that's crazy to me. So like,
don't put words in my mouth.
No. Okay, it's just a question. Hey, look, I don't know. You got to throw it on you. I didn't mean to put nothing in your mouth. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know how to throw this set up.
He's thinking right here. Why are you so infatuated with my mouth and my throat, nigga? Goddamn, get off my dick.
Hey, yo, what? Hold on.
Funny Marco. Jokes.
How do we get on this?
This nigga's on brand. I see what you did there, Josh. I see what you did there.
But yeah, no, like, okay, so for one, I really don't even like that type of content. Like that interview style, I don't find shit about it funny. Try to watch it, don't find nothing about it funny. Like even like the Offset and the name who we apparently are not speaking.
I feel like now we're speaking about it more by doing it
I just
that
fuck
way,
with Offset.
Yeah. Z-Way.
I mean, yeah, but you know, but people genuinely do find it funny, which I don't. So, and like you said, like those straight, like those prank videos where like niggas is like really being disrespectful to people, like just taking people out their day, just being mean spirited, just doing dumb shit, just bothering people. I really hate those. Like I don't find nothing funny about it. Like half the time I be really wishing like the nigga should knock you the fuck out. Like for real. Like I wish you would get punched in your face. And when the old boy shot him, I wasn't mad at it. I say that for damn sure. Glad he lived, but I was not mad at it. And even the court system kind of ruled in his favor. Like he ain't get he got a slap on the wrist at most.
See, I feel like it's a little bit of a difficult thing because it's like, what's the right course of action when the law fails to protect you? Like when the law fails to protect you from like certain kinds of harassment, and you go not over the top, but you go to maximum impact with your retaliation. It's like, what's to be done there? Because I think there should be some common sense laws in place regulating what content creators can do. Because at this point, this is a industry. It's an economy unto itself. There are millions and millions of people who
it's not going
away, and millions of people make their entire living by it. All right, to where it's like it's whole malls that are just overrun with street interviewers. It's 1,000 million podcasts like this. It's a ton of fucking streamers. It's people that we work with. It's thousands of video essays. It's an economy to itself. You need some common sense regulations about like how that touches the lives of people who aren't in that industry. Like you can't just set up a fucking farm in the middle of somebody's parking lot, but you can just do content fucking anywhere. Like with the gym shit, the fact that people are making content in the gym is actually wild to me. Like there should be no personal cameras allowed in a gym to me. That should be the norm. I don't even understand how that's even like a discussion, but it is. And people are making content in there, and people are in malls and grocery stores bothering people to make content. And so you go, how do I make this motherfucker leave me alone? I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to be on the interview. I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to do this shit. They're touching me. I guess I got to blow them away. Because I really don't know what else to do in this situation. They keep coming at me. I guess somebody is going to have to die today. I kind of get that. But if somebody's bothering you and you kill them, that's just murder. Like, that's how it is for every other situation. So I can't really get behind that. Give them a second to join back in.
What is you for Halloween? Is you like Zorro, the spellcaster version?
Nah.
What's going on?
Well, because Zorro has like a mask. Where you get Zorro from? What about
look,
this
my
Zorro?
nigga? I don't know what. Look, my nigga, I don't know what's going on. I just saw like something that looked vaguely like a sombrero, and that's what my mind went.
Okay, gotcha.
Like,
yeah.
I'm like 3 drinks in, so I'm like, you gotta,
No, I'm the Wicked Witch of the South, baby.
Fair enough.
That's me. Simsalabim.
That sound like a drug dealer reference.
Probably.
Like Griselda Blanco. You like Griselda Blanco or some
Yeah,
shit?
yeah,
You
yeah.
selling like Blue Magic?
That's the. Hey, look, no comment. No comment.
It's a brand name like Pepsi. You stand behind it.
I plead the fifth.
You guarantee it.
I can't perjure myself.
Fair enough.
But it's magic.
Fair
I'll tell you
enough.
that. It's magic. I'll tell you that. Okay, so what do we think?
My thoughts on that is like, hey, I never said that the dude should have shot the guy. Like, should have just blew his shit away. I was just not mad at it. I was just not mad at it. Now, that's just the word I can
That's the same thing.
I wasn't mad at it.
That's the same thing.
But no, it's not.
Okay, it's related.
But could be. But that's how I felt. I wasn't mad at it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because like
it's not the same thing, but I'm just
Whatever.
like stand behind what you're saying, which is that like in some way you don't condemn it. You kind of a little bit approve of it. Maybe not all the way, but somewhere on that spectrum.
There's gray area in
Yeah,
that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all know me. I'm a nigga that lives in gray.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably like more so lean on the side of maybe approve it. But like, I still don't think that he should have pulled a gun out. But at the same time, just like you saying, like when you getting harassed by somebody and like they just won't stop, what are you to do? And then you can tell he ain't no tough guy. He can't fight.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just like, oh, no, leave me alone.
Come on, guys.
Put in his face even more.
Yeah.
And then, like, every time, and then another thing I hate about those prank videos is every time, like, if a dude, like, can actually, like, beat the prankster up or whatever, or he, like, actually pushes him or put hands on him, the nigga behind the camera always, oh, come on, dude, that's a prank, dude. Go calm down, bro. It ain't that serious. Why you do that? It's like, nigga, why y'all out fucking bothering people? Like, it's consequences to your actions, bro.
Yeah, like the fact that it's a prank don't mean
like,
it's not. Like you're still doing what you're doing. Like the prank is you
Right,
slap
like,
me in
you
the
don't
face.
give a-
It's like that don't make it. What does it being a prank? Like what is you recording it and making content out of it have to do with whether or not I have a problem with it?
Right, so that's why I be like, I ain't like shoot, cause sometimes sometimes I just like be cringing so hard watching, like trying to get through these prank videos and like trying to find like what's so funny about it, and I'll be like, yo. So if I was in that position, I don't know, bro. Hopefully I never will be, but like my instinct to just haul off and like knock that motherfucker block off.
Yeah.
But of course I still might get in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Illegal.
But this person is harassing me. Like I'm not bothering nobody. I'm not here for your fucking content, my nigga. Like if it's a good prank, like if it's like funny, like I can get behind that. But if you just harassing, you know.
And I will say I haven't seen a prank, like a street prank especially, that like I thought was like worth it in a very long time. And I don't know if that's just me getting into old man territory or if I just haven't seen one in a very long time. I've seen some more recent funny Marco stuff, like interview style, like sit down, that I thought that made me chuckle. But like street, like prankster kind of stuff, for like stuff that people do in stores, restaurants, that kind of thing, I just don't find it funny.
I probably don't disagree. It's not a
I think I would
enjoy much. Yeah,
I think I would have a little bit more leash for it if it was actually funny, because I do think there are some absurdist kind of situations, Eric Andre style, that like can get me to chuckle. But
Eric Andre's shit is hilarious and funny. Marco's like
because he leans into like the absurdist aspect of it, which I think.
But to be fair, they are harassment. Like his video where he like pretends that a random person in a parking lot is like a person of interest in some like major local news story.
What do you have to say for yourself?
What are you talking about? Where do you stand? What is happening?
What about the photos, ma'am? Do you think the photos are going to play a role?
Are you hilarious? But it's major harassment. Like they put a whole bunch of cameras and mics and go, what do you think about the thing? And how could you do this? And, and they're like, what the fuck? Who are you people? And they're like, we know what you've done, that kind of shit. And it's like, this is a hilarious situation. I find it very funny. Is 100% the kind of shit that Josh understandably would fucking punch Eric Andre in his face for doing.
Actually, no, that's actually not the example I was going, because I would lean into it.
I would be like, what the fuck is going on? If I knew it was a prank, then sure. But if I didn't, I'd be like, who the fuck are y'all? What are y'all talking about? I don't want to be on. Like, I would go the direction of how you were going if you wouldn't.
Yeah, it's just certain things, bro. Because a lot of times where it just kind of comes into like, it's like you can't get away. Like, they don't let up. Like, you cannot get away from these people. Like, they just pursue.
That's what that situation
do
is.
The prank type of thing.
That's exactly what that one is.
Because, like, well, from what you described, maybe that would just be like one thing that I get. Of
It's
course, this cannot be fucking serious.
Okay. So it must be a joke.
It cannot be serious.
Yeah.
Like there's you got a whole production crew. You run up and be like, "What do you think about you know what I'm saying?" But clearly it's a joke.
Okay.
I don't know, Josh.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
I don't know, Josh. You might, when they let you know about my nefarious real estate dealings.
Yeah.
In South Beach,
you might have to interview. Yeah.
They fucking raid in the studio.
Oh shit. That's definitely.
Wait, did the Breakfast Club actually get raided?
Yeah, I think the what is it? iHeartRadio or whatever their like.
I've seen mixed reports. Yeah, it was iHeartRadio. I've seen mixed reports.
Damn. Why are y'all on that?
No. Will you be out there selling houses with big punch, son?
Yo, shout out to Season, man.
Where? Oh, I mean, fuck, I don't know. Button called it though.
Calls me as someone that he is not speaking to. We have not spoken about anything. And he calls me and starts talking about some real estate shit. For me, that's odd. We don't speak. And now you calling me, telling me that your man's with the government and he could get the buildings and there's a list, it'll be me, you, and Queen Latifah and whatever the fuck he was saying, because I was walking my dog in the backyard, so I want to stop listening at this point. But that just sounded fishy.
I called Fabulous. I called Joe Budden. Right? My Desert Storm family. And I said, hey, guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that, you should invest a little bit of money in, try it out, and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was going to go to jail.
No comment from DJ Envy. An inside source tells us that the iHeartRadio offices were visited by the feds who took out electronic equipment as part of this investigation.
DJ Envy said, when I started doing this thing, I was like, I wanted to get people on. The first 3 people I called was, he said, somebody, and Joe Budden. The first thing Joe Budden said was,
DJ
that shit, is it DJ Premier? And who else? And one other person.
It might not. It was Desert Storm. Yeah, DJ Clue. Yeah,
and he said,
somebody.
And Budden. And he said, first thing Budden said was, that should sound like a Ponzi scheme to me. Beep. That was it.
Like a Ponzi. No, thank you.
And look, one thing about, and I'm not saying Budden is right way more often than the broke clock. I'll tell you that. Because he called that shit early. Everybody getting arrested. But like, I'm good. Oh, that's hilarious. You know what a prank is that I do enjoy though? Or I don't know if it's a prank, but it's the one where these kids, it's in like London or France or whatever, it's European type shit. And they get like a soccer ball or like a basketball goal and they just throw balls at like random people and see if they can make it. Those are great. I love those.
I was thinking about that one.
I love watching.
I always get mad when the people don't shoot it.
Yeah. And they play that
or like
Lil Nas like song in the background and it like the beat breaks if the person lands it. I watch those shits every time. It's so fun.
Or like, and in that same vein, I like it when like there's a guy like doing like crossovers and like in like a crosswalk and he sees if like people like DM up
yes,
and like what happens. Like I kind of fuck with that.
Those are good. I like that.
Because I'm 100% like, and I always want that shit to happen to me. And like I'm like,
I mean, I'd be ready.
Let's go.
You're living a full adult life, waiting for that scenario to be ready.
I don't even care if I get my fucking ankles broke at my age or what the fuck ever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna fucking hold my ground. I'm gonna stand on business, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
10 toes. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's like fun shit like that, and I like that. But I guess
that you can get away from.
So.
And it's to your point, Josh. It's like you can easily get away from that, right? So like, if you don't want to participate, this nigga does one crossover, you just fucking keep walking. Like, what's he gonna do? Like, he's just gonna go to the next person. So like, you can escape that situation easly. So like, you're not pinned down to participate if you don't want to.
But I do always hate the people who don't participate. It always be a lady or an old man who's like when the soccer ball comes to them or the basketball, and they're like, they try and dodge it, and I'm like, you're so lame. But obviously, that's from the perspective of the viewer. And that's an unfair assessment of, it's like, look, they're going about their day. They don't want to be involved in the shit. Cool. But still lame. So look, man, I think we'll call that the show. And look, it's been Eddie. It's been Josh. It's been Alvin. If you see a soccer ball or a sneeze or a slap or a racial epithet coming towards you in the middle of like a Walmart parking lot, you might be seeing a red flag. It might be Funny Marco. It might be Eric Andre. You know, it might be any of various pranksters. But at the same time, if you get taken out by like a family of hillbillies when you should have easily had like the coordination between you and 7 friends to like shotgun this motherfucker, it's definitely you that's waving the red flag. It's been Waving the Red Flag podcast. We'll see y'all next week. Join us on Patreon, Spotify, or YouTube members if you want to be a part of the community and get all of our bonus content. For those of you watching on YouTube, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and enjoy these episodes. Get this bonus content every week. And have a happy Halloween, everybody. That's it. Did I forget anything? Cool.
Doesn't sound like it.
Happy Hallows Eve. Ooh. Cool.
Focus, pocus, no jokers.
It's a red flag.